We are pleased to welcome you to our webinar on the DivorceMate integration in LEAP. We will begin with formal introductions shortly, but before we get started, let's go through a couple of initial housekeeping items. Today's webinar will run for approximately 50 minutes in listen-only mode. We welcome all participants to enter questions into the chat window as they arise. And if we do not answer them in the course of the presentation, we have allotted some time at the end to address them. If you miss any of the session or have any technical issues, don't worry. Today's session will be recorded and will be sent to all registrants in a follow-up email approximately a week from today. Okay, let's get started. My name is Christine, and I am the Vice President of Family Law for both LEAP and DivorceMate. Initially practicing family law for a number of years, I made the move to DivorceMate almost 20 years ago, where I was able to leverage my family law knowledge and experience to assist in building innovative software for family lawyers. My recent involvement with LEAP has given me the opportunity to bring about significant change to LEAP's family law offering, namely the integration of DivorceMate's products into LEAP. Now family lawyers have the benefit of great family-specific software and incredible practice productivity software in a powerful all-in-one solution.
My name is Daniela, and I'm the Director of Canadian Content at LEAP Canada. Before joining LEAP, I also used to be a practicing family lawyer, and it is exciting to be a part of developing content that will help family law practitioners better serve their clients.
Hello, my name is Ramsey and I'm the Head of Sales at LEAP Canada. I've had an incredible opportunity to have worked at LEAP for over 17 years, and I've led the sales teams in the US, UK, and Australasia. I absolutely love assisting firms to help them better understand and leverage smart technology to build successful and profitable businesses. The power of smart integrated software, like the marriage between DivorceMate and LEAP, is the best way forward for family law firms. This integration that you're about to see removes the need for duplicate data entry from separate family law products into a standalone accounting system, an email system, and a separate forms generator, and much more. And I'm excited to show it to you. A single, easy-to-use solution that provides single entry of information is the best way forward for family law practitioners in Canada.
Founded in 1992, LEAP has been servicing law firms around the globe with over 61,000 users worldwide. LEAP occupies a unique position in the legal software market as it includes practice management, legal accounting, document assembly and management, as well as many of the traditional legal publishing assets. It is an all-in-one solution.
Founded in 1987, DivorceMate Software is the leading provider of family law software in Canada. The trusted family law brand is used by thousands of family law professionals and members of the Canadian judiciary. DivorceMate's products are cloud-based and include forms for completing day-to-day court forms, tools for support calculations, and precedents for drafting agreements. Today, Daniela, Ramsey, and I are excited to introduce you to the full integration of DivorceMate into LEAP and to highlight some of the integrated LEAP features most valued by our clients. We thought it would be helpful to begin our webinar with the basics of completing a family law matter in LEAP, looking at the various tables and entry fields that you must complete in order to support the DivorceMate integration. Next, we will look at how to create a DivorceMate form in LEAP, a DivorceMate agreement in LEAP, and finally, a DivorceMate tools calculation in LEAP. And then, throughout the session, Ramsey will be highlighting some of the most talked about LEAP features. We will round out our program by answering your questions. Please note that while we will primarily use British Columbia for demonstration purposes, the information provided is fully transferable and relevant to Ontario and Alberta as well.
When you're beginning a family law file, the first thing you need to do is determine the appropriate matter type under family. Each matter type has tailored party roles, also known as substitution options for the client and other side, as well as applicable tables to be completed in the matter that are visible once you open your matter. Let's assume our client is separating from their spouse. We will therefore begin by opening up a divorce and separation matter. Note that this matter type does not necessarily mean that the parties are married and are getting a divorce. It applies also in the case of common law spouses who are separating. Once you have selected the appropriate matter type and substitution options for the parties under the matter type, press the OK button and start completing your matter. You will be directed to the client card. On this card, you will need to complete your client's general details. In other words, their name. In this case, I already have a card saved with the client's information. You must also complete their gender, their contact information, date of birth, place of birth, and country of birth. You will then fill in the party's address by selecting the Address tab on the left-hand side of the card. The matter will then be set up with a number of default tables on the left-hand side to complete. These default tables include the key actors and organizations that we have identified as commonly used in the matter type, and contains information that will be pulled into the DivorceMate Forms, Agreements, and Tools calculations. It is helpful to understand that LEAP has organized all matter information into two types of tables. First, we have cards, such as the client card, which are used for entities including people, law firms, businesses, and organizations. These cards collect information regarding these people or entities. Second, we have layouts, such as the marriage, relationship, and/or separation details layout. Layouts are used to complete matter-specific information. Note that some layouts are related to other tables and can only be filled out once the parent card has been completed. For example, the child details table and the children's lawyer card are related to child. These related tables are easily identified as they are indented under the parent table. I recommend generally working your way down the tables as listed. It is important to fill out all the relevant information in these tables, as this will save you time later when creating DivorceMate Forms, Agreements, or Calculations, which will populate a lot of the information from these tables. You must next complete the card for the other side. To input a lawyer into LEAP, whether that is a sole practitioner or a law firm, set the card type to company. You will then fill in the general details, specifically the name of the law firm, which you can search the law firm, then you need to complete the company type, email address, phone and fax number, and web address if you wish. Then move to the Address tab and complete this information for the lawyer or law firm. You must now include the lawyer as a staff member of the firm by clicking the plus sign beside staff. New person will then appear, and you can proceed to fill in the personal details for the lawyer, including their name, gender if you wish, email address, phone number, fax number, and any other contact information that you wish. If required, their Law Society number can also be entered under the Additional Fields tab at the top of the card. This allows the user to collect all the information for the law firm and lawyer in one place. Once you click the Save and Close button, you'll notice that the name of the law firm appears under Respondent's Lawyer, and a box will pop up where the user can select the name of the lawyer representing the attached party. Please note that if the file is passed to another lawyer in the firm, this can quickly be changed by right-clicking on the name of the lawyer, selecting Replace With, and selecting one of the other lawyers listed. The next table in the matter is the Marriage Relationship and/or Separation Details table. The next card we will turn to is the Child card. If there is a child on the file, you would double-click on the Child card and a New People card will pop up. You will then only need to include the child's full name, their gender, and their date of birth. Once you have completed the child card, you will then be able to open up the related Child Details table. This collects pertinent information in relation to the child, including the name of the person or people the child lives with, and each of the parties' relationship to the child. If the child is represented by a lawyer, you would complete the related Children's Lawyer card. If there is a second child in the matter, right-click on the Child section and select New Child. You would then proceed to complete the details for the second child, and so on and so forth for multiple children. The next table to complete is the Support Payment Details table by specifying who is the payor and who is the recipient of spousal and child support. This is primarily to assist in the configuration of a DivorceMate separation agreement or to set up the DivorceMate tools calculation. The Separation Agreement Details table is used if you are going to be completing a DivorceMate separation agreement for the matter. In this table, you have a number of issues with drop-down selections to complete. There are additional tables displayed in this matter type that may or may not be relevant in your matter, such as mediator and court cards. If relevant on your file, please complete them. Note that court cards should be completed as government department card types. Depending on the nature of your matter, there may be additional people or entities associated with the matter that do not appear in the default tables, or there may be tables that do not apply to your case. While the content team has identified the most used tables in the default list, you can edit what tables are included to suit the unique needs of each matter. To do so, navigate to the top left-hand column, right-click, and select Edit Table Types. You can add any table listed by clicking on the box next to it. For example, by clicking the box next to Process Server. To remove a table from the matter, you need only to deselect the box next to it. Once you press OK, the edited table types will update on the left-hand column in the matter. And that is how you set up a family client matter. Next, Christine will show you how to use the DivorceMate features integrated in Leap. Take it away, Christine.
Thanks, Daniela. One of the most exciting pieces of the DivorceMate and Leap integration is the addition of DivorceMate's Forms to Leap. Once you have completed all of the matter details for the client, as Daniela demonstrated, You are ready to create DivorceMate forms for this client matter. To get started, click on the Guides and Precedents icon in the Leap ribbon at the top of your client matter. Go to the Browse tab at the top and double-click through the folders until you find the folder marked DivorceMate Forms. Then select the form that you wish to create from this folder. You may use the search feature at the top of the forms to find a form by either number or by name. You may also limit your search to the DivorceMate Forms folder or the DivorceMate Forms folder and its subfolders. Once you find the form you are looking for, either highlight the form and click Select or double-click on the form name. It will then open in Microsoft Word. When the form opens, any common and repetitive information that was completed from the matter details will automatically populate onto the form itself. Depending on the form, you may also see the DivorceMate side panel on the right. The size of this side panel can be adjusted by hovering over the dividing lines and dragging the lines to the appropriate size. It is important to note that not all forms require this panel. Only forms that require configuring will include the side panel. In other words, it allows you to check or uncheck sections of the form that you want or don't want included in the form. For instance, if I want to remove certain sections from my financial statement, namely Schedules A and B, I can uncheck them from the side panel, and you can see they've been removed from the form. Then moving back up to the top of the form, proceed to include all of the information, including financial information, directly onto the form itself. For instance, after checking the relevant boxes and inputting the client's employment details, you would then proceed to input the client's income information in this section. Once you have completed all financial information, go to the side panel and hit the blue Calculate button at the top. The software will then automatically tabulate the income for you. You would then work your way through the rest of the form, completing all required information. For example, here we would input the client's housing expenses. If I have additional housing expenses that aren't included in the boilerplate items, I can add them to any rows below. If I have additional housing items and I've run out of empty rows, I can go to the side panel and click on the plus sign to add as many rows as I require. Once I have completed the information for this section, I can then click the Calculate icon in the side panel and the software will do the math. At this point, I want to briefly mention a couple of features unique to Ontario financial forms. To demonstrate these features, I will open a Form 13.1 financial statement in Ontario that I have prepared in advance. Firstly, when completing the income or monthly budget section of this form, there are a few shortcuts to convert weekly, bi-weekly, and yearly figures to monthly figures. To input a weekly amount, include the number followed by a W. For a bi-weekly figure, in other words every other week, follow the number with a B. And for a yearly number, follow it with a Y. Then, once you hit Calculate, the numbers will be converted to monthly amounts. Moving down to the property section of the financial statement, in order to have the software apply Ontario's special treatment of the matrimonial home if brought into the marriage, the words matrimonial home must be included in the nature and type of ownership column. This allows for the entry of a matrimonial home on any line, not just the first, and also allows for multiple matrimonial homes. So for instance, in our example, if our client also owned a cottage used regularly by the family during the marriage and existing at the date of separation, thereby qualifying as a matrimonial home, it can be added on a third line, as long as we indicate that it is a matrimonial home. We can do a similar exercise with any debts associated with the cottage. The date of marriage value will then not be included in Part 6, nor will the associated mortgage be considered a date of marriage debt. Once the Property and Debt section of Form 13.1 is completed, you can transfer this information to a Form 13B, a Net Family Property Statement, by clicking the transfer icon at the top right of the side panel. The data from the form will then be queued to import into a 13B NFP, and by clicking Next, the data is now ready to be imported. Once you click OK, you can then proceed to open a Form 13B from the DivorceMate Forms folder. And a pop-up will advise that there is data ready to be imported into the form. By confirming the party to whom the data is to be transferred, the information from the Form 13.1 will be imported, and you can then proceed to complete the information for the other side. Once you have completed the Net Family Property Statement, you can then use the same process to transfer the data to a Form 13C, a comparison of Net Family Property Statements. And those are the features specific to the Ontario Financial Forms. Now let's return to the BC Financial Form that we were originally working with. When you are done with the form, you can click Save and Close in the Leap ribbon at the top, or Time Save and Close to capture the time spent on the form.
Thanks, Christine, for pointing out the Time Save and Close feature in Leap. This is a highly used feature that allows our customers to dock it within the Microsoft suite of products, in this case, Microsoft Word. As you can see, Leap has tracked the total elapsed time spent on the financial statement. Leap has determined this time based on the length of time the financial statement was in an active window in front of the user. So if the window is minimized, or you introduce a new window on top of the active window to work on something else for a period of time, as we did with the Ontario financial statement, the timer stops and only resumes once you return to the original document. Again, in this case, the BC financial statement. Leap has determined the amount of billed time based on the elapsed time and the billing rate, which was preset through the application settings. Even a billing description populates, which can be easily modified if necessary. That way, when you hit Save and Close from the window, your docket has been saved directly to the matter ledger, ready to bill your client. This integration with DivorceMate and Leap's accounting features eliminates the need for any duplicate data entry. Leap offers 7 different robust methods to account for your time. Whether you are in a mobile app, within court or working remotely, or using the integrated timesheet, you are always accounting for your time in real time. On average, LEAP firms will increase their billing by 30% or more. It's not because you're billing faster or doing more work, but because you're billing more accurately. Lawyers are notorious for being horrible at time docketing. Sorry, but it's true. Before moving on, assuming that you've now completed the financial statement, you may wish to share the form with your client or anyone else outside of your firm for that matter. You can do so by right-clicking on the form and selecting one of the sharing options. LEAP's integration with Outlook is a game changer, and truth is we sell a ton of LEAP purely based on the integration with Outlook. Every matter-relevant email you send directly via Outlook or from LEAP, the email will instantly save against the customer file. Better yet, the response from the other party will be sent to your Outlook and will also be sent right to your customer file in LEAP. No drag and drop, no need for manually save the email from Outlook, and no need to print emails and save them to your paper file. You and your staff can also use the Teams integration to tag other parties into your discussion, or you can use the Law Connect feature, which is a secure legal portal that allows you to share anything you wish securely with anyone. Law Connect is included in your LEAP subscription. Law Connect alleviates the need for third-party storage systems like OneDrive, Dropbox, or the need for a server, which are expensive and unnecessary. Our customers rave about Law Connect because it is safe. It's a secure portal to share documents and correspondence with a client going through perhaps a marital breakdown rather than through open email.
Thanks, Ramsey. The next DivorceMate integration product we want to show you is the DivorceMate Agreements in LEAP. These agreements, also known as DivorceMate precedents, have been available in LEAP for some time, but the exciting news is that now the streamlined DivorceMate process used to create these agreements is also integrated into LEAP. As with forms, it is important to ensure that you have completed all of the matter details for the client in order to create an agreement, paying particular attention to a couple of key tables. The Support Payment Details table, which configures the agreement based on who will be paying or receiving support, and the Separation Agreement Details table, which allows you to set the parameters for the separation agreement in the divorce and separation matter type. So for example, our client Harold prefers to go by Harry, and this is the name that we will use in the separation agreement. Harry will have secondary parenting time with the children. He will not have decision-making. That will be left to Sally. He will be the payer of a compensation payment or equalization payment, and he will leave the family residence and allow Sally and the child to remain in the home. Let's assume there is no pension to be transferred. Note that if we were in the marriage and cohabitation matter type, it would be the marriage agreement details table that we would focus on. Once all of the matter details have been completed, click on the Guides and Precedents icon in the LEAP ribbon at the top of your client matter. Go to the Browse tab at the top and click through the various matter types and folders to get to the DivorceMate Agreements folder. Then select the DivorceMate agreement you wish to create. You may do so by either highlighting the agreement and clicking Select or double-clicking on the agreement name. It will then open in Microsoft Word. As you will see, there is a DivorceMate side panel on the right. The top section of the panel shows a number of folders and subfolders that can be opened up and disclose hundreds of available clauses. To select a clause for your agreement, either click in the box beside the clause or double-click on the clause itself, and it will automatically be included in the agreement on the left, and you will proceed to build your agreement before your eyes, selecting all relevant clauses. If you are not certain about a clause and would like to see it before automatically including it in the agreement, by clicking on the clause name once, a preview of the clause will be displayed at the bottom section of the side panel. Note that as with forms, you can adjust the side panel size however you wish. If you would like to read any commentary associated with the clause regarding its use, relevant legislation, case law, or issues, click on the information icon in blue in the top right-hand corner of the same section, and the commentary will then display. As you select clauses, you will see that any common or repetitive matter details from the cards and tables have been automatically populated into the clause where applicable. Once you have finished selecting all of the clauses you want to include in your agreement, you can then proceed to fill in the missing information required in the grayed square brackets. Alternatively, you can complete the missing information as you go rather than waiting until the end. For the grayed sections throughout the agreement requiring further information, you have three options. You can either highlight the grayed section and begin completing it. You can delete the grayed section altogether by highlighting it and selecting Delete. Or finally, you can accept the grayed text by highlighting it and clicking on the AB icon at the top right corner of the side panel to remove the shading. This will then accept the text inside the grayed square bracket. In addition, any clause can be revised as necessary, and new clauses can be added to tailor the agreement to the specific facts of your client's case. When you have completed your agreement and all missing information, you can hit Save and Close in the Leap ribbon at the top, or Time Save and Close to capture your time spent on the agreement. The agreement will then automatically appear in the client's list of documents. Note that any schedules to be appended to the agreement are listed separately in a folder marked Schedules. In addition to being used as schedules to an agreement, they can also be used as independent forms if you wish. And lastly, let's turn to the DivorceMate Tools Calculations App in Leap, which is a complex, tax-driven software program and is an indispensable marketplace app for family law firms. It's used to determine child and spousal support, lump sum spousal support, net disposable income, life insurance security, and much more. Please note that the purpose of today's demonstration is to show you how the app functions in Leap and not to go into the tools calculation itself in any depth. From the Leap client matter, in the Leap ribbon at the top, you will see the DM Tools Calculations app. By double-clicking on this app, you can access DivorceMate's Child and Spousal Support Calculator. You will be asked to confirm which party is the payor and which party is the recipient of spousal support. This is critical information in order for the calculator to work properly. If spousal support is not an issue, you should instead verify the payor and recipient of child support. Once OK is clicked, the calculation will then open, and those of you who are familiar with DivorceMate's cloud tools will see that the DM Tools app in Leap is virtually the same. For those who prefer to work with bigger font, the magnification icon at the top will expand the size of the print. Note that all of the pre-populated information from the Leap matter details is now included in the calculation. You can then proceed to input all additional information required to complete the calculation through the various input fields, the plus sign beside the parties' names, the children or the special expenses, by clicking on any blue link, or by using the Options tab in the ribbon at the top. For example, to include some income for Harold, I'm going to input employment income of $120,000 and save that. It will be momentarily highlighted in yellow on the printout. I will now also include some income for Sally and click OK. Assuming that I have no further input for this calculation and now want to save it, I go to the ribbon at the top and click the Save icon. I can then name my calculation and should do so with some identifying features. I will call this calculation Harry at $120,000 of income. The saved calculation will now appear in the panel on the left-hand side. To create a new calculation, click the New Calculation button at the bottom of the left panel and proceed to input the relevant information for this new calculation. Once again, don't forget to save the calculation when you are done, giving it an identifiable name. Alternatively, rather than creating a new calculation, you may wish to instead save a copy of one of the already created calculations as a starting point. To do so, click on the calculation you wish to copy, click on the Save As icon in the top ribbon, once again giving the calculation an identifying name. And then proceed to make whatever changes you need to make in the calculation. In this example, we now have 3 different calculations that have been saved in the app. To see all details pertaining to the creation and modification of each saved calculation, click on the calculation and view the information at the bottom of the left panel. To delete a calculation, highlight or hover over the calculation in the list on the left and click the delete icon beside it. You will be asked to confirm the delete function so as to avoid any mistakes. To print the calculation, click the print icon in the ribbon at the top. If you prefer to save a copy of the calculation directly into the client's LEAP matter, click on the PDF to LEAP icon in the ribbon at the top, and a PDF copy of the calculation will then appear in the list of documents created in the LEAP matter. Be aware that this is a PDF copy only, not a functioning calculation, and it therefore cannot be manipulated from the LEAP matter. If you wish to revise the calculation, you will need to go back into the DM Tools app and change the calculation as desired. Also note that all calculations saved in the DM Tools app will continue to remain in the app, but only calculations saved to the LEAP matter will show in the client's list of documents in their matter. If you wish, you can create a folder marked Calculations and save your calculations in that folder. The last item in the ribbon at the top of the DM Tools app is the DivorceMate Support button. If you require assistance with the calculation, in other words, not technical assistance, but rather calculation assistance, despite now working in LEAP, you still have access to DivorceMate's Calculation Support line.
Once you have completed the work for your client for this billing cycle and are ready to invoice them, simply go into the General Accounting tab and create a new invoice. You will see all your time dockets are included on the invoice. You can prepare a pre-billing guide, adjust fees up and down, and when you're ready, finalize it and send it off to the client. When the money comes in from the client to pay this invoice, receipt it in the software under the General Accounting tab at the top under Receive Payment. Alternatively, if the invoice needs to be paid from the client's trust account, go to the Trust Funds tab and the Trust to Receivables. in order to transfer the funds. Leap has a fully integrated legal trust accounting solution in compliance with the Law Society regulations. You have the ability to draft invoices and assign them to different members within the firm in order to streamline the approval workflow of your invoicing process. All matter-based accounting and items related to checks, trust, reporting, and general accounting are done within Leap. Besides the points already mentioned above, there are many other features our customers love. But in the interest of time, I will limit myself to 2 additional features: the automated forms and precedents in other areas of law, and the crowd favorite, the Leap mobile app. For those of you who practice in other areas of law, included in your Leap investment, your firm will have access to court forms and precedents across all the common areas of law. Our Leap content team will ensure that you are always using the most current and up-to-date content. Many firms subscribe to disconnected form providers. Leap's automated forms remove the need to rekey form data, as this is fully integrated at no additional expense. It's all included. More uniquely, we will train you on how to import your own letters and automate them. Here is a list of the other forms and precedents available in your Leap investment. If you are interested, just pop your request into the chat box with your email address and we will send you a copy of these forms and precedents. Finally, I'm going to show you the Leap mobile application, which can be downloaded in the App Store on your iPhone or Android. The benefit of this app is that it will have a complete parallel to what you just saw on our desktop application on your mobile device. In real time, you are able to bring your files to the court directly on your mobile or tablet. Upon opening the mobile application, you'll be presented with your home screen that displays upcoming meetings, tasks, and allows you to access immediate functionality like scanning, calendaring, and starting and stopping a timer. Along the bottom, you can toggle between matters, client cards, and much more. Upon opening the matter, you immediately have access to your client card. The benefit here is that I can call my client and even time record the conversation. Once I hang up, a docket will automatically appear for how long we spoke on the phone, and I can type an internal memo on what was discussed. If I move along to the correspondence, I can see a complete parallel to my desktop application where I can access all of the details in real time. In addition, if I click on the orange plus symbol at the bottom, I have added functionality where I can scan documents directly into the correspondence. I can use the voice dictation or leave file notes to my clerk. Lastly, I want to showcase the timer on the top right corner. I can have this timer running beside my desktop, or if I have an Apple Watch, I can sync my timer there as well. Leap is privately owned and we have a rich 31-year history. Today, we have the pleasure of supporting over 7,000 users in Canada and over 80,000 users globally. We love helping build profitable and successful law firms throughout the globe.
On behalf of Leap, Daniela, Ramsey, and myself, I want to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. We hope you found this session informative and see the value that Leap has to offer. For any Leap clients interested in learning more or requiring further training, please reach out to your practice advisor. For any attendees today who are not yet Leap clients, please feel free to contact a member of the Leap sales team for a demo. Thank you and have a great day.